All right, so ready for a career change. Learn about the professional photo managers. So welcome again. My name again is Cathi Nelson. I'm the CEO and founder of the Photo Managers. I'm also the author of two books, Photo Organizing Made Easy, Going from Overwhelmed to Overjoyed, and a business roadmap for professional photo organizers. If you're interested or learning about more about the business side of it, I co-wrote that with Jill Yesko, one of our members who's really smart businesswoman who owns also a residential organizing and a senior move manager. But besides those things, I'm most important and passionate about helping people tell their family stories through their photos, videos, and meaningful keepsake items. So today, I'm excited to share with you a few things. I'm going to share with you, whoops, I'm jumping ahead of myself. The earning potential and business growth opportunities in the photo management industry, the key services that clients need today, including digital decluttering, scanning, photo restoration, different services that people offer, how you can build a successful business in this business, whether you're doing it full time or part time, and the skills and tools that you need to get started. So if you're ready to consider a career shift or adding another revenue stream to your business, and you want work that gives you a purpose and passion, this is the right place. Now, again, stay with me to the end because as just like all humans, we all love a good offer, a good deal. And actually, this is one of the best offers we've ever made because we're tying this in with with Black Friday. So you definitely want to hang around and hear that. And we also will, of course, send things in through email as well as a follow-up. So let's just start with the why, because I feel like we have to stay rooted in the why this is so important. Why is there a need for professional photo managers? And why would you even consider organizing your own photos and videos? I often tell people that the idea of organizing photos is like watching paint dry, right? There's nothing exciting or sexy about that concept. But that's not why we do this, right? That's not the why. The why is because in each of those photos is a story, a memory, a connection, a feeling, historical information, and so much more. We take photos and videos to tell the stories of our lives. We save our kids' artwork, baby's first steps, a favorite blanket, your grandmother's treasured teapot, because they connect us to our history, our family, and our memories. And today, we are drowning in all of that, right? We have way too many old printed photos, slides and negatives from the past, trapped in fading albums or boxes and bins. We have old home movies on formats that you can't watch anymore, like who has a VCR or camcorder? And our digital collections, let's just face it, are a mess. I can't imagine anybody on this call would not agree with that. No one wants to go through all those photos to find the handful that matter. And that's what professional photo managers do for their clients. Or if you decide to join us as a photo manager in training, you might want to just do this for yourself. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. So again, that why is really important. And when I talk to a client, or even when people ask me what I do for a living, sometimes I'll joke. I say, "Well, I started an organization of professional photo organizers," and I'm like, "How exciting? Doesn't that sound boring or tedious?" And people kind of laugh a little bit, chuckle, and then I'll say, "But think about it. If you lost all the photos that you deeply cared about, or sometimes I don't talk about loss, but I'll say, what if I could, you know." You could hear your grandparents' voices again. Or what if I could create a family legacy album that you could pass down to the next generation of your family stories. And then people immediately light up, right? They get the why this matters. So I just want to make sure that we stay focused again on that why. So let's get started. Here's some slides. So we did a survey about 6, 7 months ago of our members, and this is just a little highlight of some of those answers. We're going to redo this again in January because a lot of our members, we had over 50%, almost 50% answer, but I think we'll have a much higher percentage now when they see how important this information is. So here is some statistics. Photo management offers a wide range of earning potential, from just a small supplemental income to significant revenue. Photo managers have the potential to make well over $50,000 a year and more, and we have many that have reached six figures based on the survey that we conducted. So you can see here the percent that are billing, earning over 100,000, the 50,000, and then again that lower number are going to be our brand new members that just got started. So what is the annual revenue for professional photo managers who work part-time and have been in business for 5 years or more? They are reporting income anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000. And we notice that, and this makes sense, that once you move from part-time to full-time, your income will increase dramatically. But a lot of people start out doing this just to get, just as a part-time gig to get started, and over time discover they love it and they get more and more clients and they start to actually add on And that takes time. It's not get rich overnight business. It takes time to build your credibility, to build your client base and things like that. But it's a very lucrative business. Nearly 40% of our members that have been doing it full time make over that $100,000, suggesting that photo management can be a very profitable career over the long term, especially if you're pursuing it more than just as a part-time business. So that's just some key numbers that I think are really important for people to understand the business possibilities and earning potentials within the photo managers. Now, what are the services that most people offer, right? There are so many diverse services that photo managers may or may not offer. And we always recommend that you do what you love and you outsource the rest. You become a real project manager when you take on photo organizing, because you'll be asked to do many different projects and you probably aren't going to want to do all of them. Everything from photo book design, digital photo organizing, coaching, photo curating, photo restoration, legacy storytelling, backing up clients' photos and hard drives and things, scanning, kids' artwork and letters, creating photo montages and memorial boards for funerals. I mean, it's just an endless list of services that members can provide for their clients. And our members report 80% of repeat clients. And that's also really important to know. Most of our members have, once they get and develop a strong relationship with their clients, they come back because guess what? Life keeps happening and we keep taking photos. There's going to be a milestone birthday. There's going to be a funeral. There's going to be all sorts of different things that happen. And if you are already the person who has built a relationship with that client, they're going to hire you. And you will learn through our training and things how to price your services and create packages as you determine the amount of time a project takes. So just a quick example about this. My son does this full time now. He lives here in the same town I am. I run the photo manager, so I'm no longer a photo organizer, but he just called me 20 minutes ago saying he got a call from an old client. He had done a whole series of war letters. Actually, it was letters from World War II from again, so it's not always going to be photos. And he developed a nice relationship with her, and she found a lot more letters, but she was unable to, they were hard to read and unlegible, and she wanted to know, would he, if she read them to him, could he type them while she was writing them? And then, but really we realized she doesn't know about AI, Ottery AI, which is a voice transcribing services. But that's just an example of the kind of calls that you'll get from clients as they continue to live their lives and undercover things that are of interest to them. So these are the questions that we often get asked by people. How can I start a business organizing someone else's photos when my own photos aren't organized? The truth is, you can start a business when your own photos aren't organized. We joke a lot, the shoemaker has no shoes, but those are famous sayings. The doctor needs their own doctor, or that's not uncommon. And starting a business is more than organizing photos. It's really about how to price your services, it's marketing, it's creating workflows, and it's setting yourself up for success. So we really don't want you to panic that your own photos aren't organized. You can use your photos as an example, as a part of your process of learning, but that very few people, I don't know if anybody joins the photo managers because they have a perfectly organized photo collection. So now I want to ask you a little quiz. So take a moment to answer true or false. This will help us guide you in the right direction. My photos aren't organized, but I know I want to start a business helping families and businesses tell their stories with their photos, videos, and keepsake items. True or false? I am unsure if I want to start a business, but I do want to get my own photos organized so I can share my family stories. I already have a business and I want to add photo organizing as a service, but I need training and pricing, workflows, and operations. 4, I'm looking to earn additional income part-time or full-time doing work that is meaningful and creative. And 5, I feel better knowing everything first before I'm comfortable telling people what I do. If your answers were mostly true, then you're a perfect fit to join our professional membership community. If your answers were false, then you would belong in our photo manager and training program. And if you answered maybe, the year-long, again, photo manager training might be the better fit for you as you discover the better answers for yourself. So let me share with you the difference between those two different programs. We developed the photo manager and training last January as a result over the years of a lot of people joining the photo managers because they wanted to get their own photos organized first. And then we realized they got overwhelmed quickly by all the training that we have on pricing and marketing and creating sales funnels and search engine optimization and all the things that are required when you're in a business. And so we thought, let's try this new model. We had no idea how successful it would be. We've had over 125 people join this level of programming. And so this is a one-year guided curriculum that includes on-demand courses on printed and digital photo organizing and scanning, access to 22 of our skill building webinars, monthly email prods, some virtual work groups, some networking meetings, and support. So here's an example of what you get as part of our photo manager in training. Now, just so you know, right now it's just $299, but we are increasing the price on January 1st. So you're in good time to hear about this. So just some additional information about what's included in that. We have our printed photo organizing made easy course and how to scan photo slided negatives. Those courses are, if you bought them independently, those are the cost of those courses. We also offer monthly interactive events and quarterly roundtable discussions where you can get to know other people in the same, doing the same thing, maybe make a friend and kind of share along with each other. We also offer some mentorship opportunities for some of our members. And we also have, whoops, got that there twice. You have access to our training library, which includes our digital photo organizing workflow, how to select a photo organizing system, organizing your business foundation, how to dedupe your photos, navigating insurance. So all sorts of different training is included in our photo management and training, as well as exclusive discounts with some of our key partners. So again, and at any point you can upgrade from that level to professional levelship, and we will prorate your membership. We have a spreadsheet, we even know. So if you were a member in the photo manager training for 3 months, and then you say, now I'm ready to step into the professional level, we can quickly prorate that for you. And so you're not going to be double paying additional money by making that decision. But now let's talk about our professional level. And let's see, this is, so in the professional level, our members has all of the bill, but specifically more training, including professional certification. The cost for professional membership is $175 a quarter or $599 a year. With a discount to international membership, we offer a 10% discount because we know the exchange rate makes a big difference for our international members. And we have a very robust and growing group of members from all over the world. So we work really hard to make sure that we can work great with them. Also, membership here will also be going up because like everything goes up especially we haven't increased our membership price it's been over 2.5, almost 3 years. So we will be doing a 10% increase. So just so you know. But we have walked the walk and we come alongside you to ensure that you can have the quickest result to success. We kind of say it's like we give you a business in a box, but we really don't send you a box. It's based on our 14 years of experience. And we have an overall foundation, 2 foundational principles that we work by. A rising tide lifts all boats, and we're collaborative, not competitive. So we build community through quite a few different ways, and we'll talk about that in just a minute here. But community is also a key part of it. I'd say education, though, is our foundational promise to our members, right? It's our core value. And what we include is monthly training webinars, and you get access to all our past recordings. So for instance, tomorrow we have a monthly webinar on all the changes Apple just made to Apple Photos, which is significant. It's the biggest change they've ever made. Paul Aronson, one of our members, he's our Mac guru. We knew that like 3 months ago that was coming, and he is presenting that tomorrow. That's free of charge. And it's a way to help make sure that you're up to speed and aware of what's happening. Again, all our webinars are also recorded so that if you miss anything, they go into our library and you have access to every webinar we've ever done. We also give you organizing your client's printed photos. That's a course by Sandra Williams, a longtime member, because it's different when you're organizing a client's printed photos than your own photos. It's all about, again, this idea of workflow, and also estimating, knowing how many photos there are. How do you estimate? We also have the building blocks of digital photo organizing. If you've never had a business before, our photo organizing foundations course is excellent. It's a way that we get you started. That's where you're going to start. It's, do you set yourself up as an LLC or an S corp? How do you set yourself up for invoicing and billing? How do you find clients? How do you market yourself? When do you get your website set up? All of those things are covered in that, just a business foundations course. It's really just best practices when you're starting a business. We also have how to scan photos, slides, and negatives, and then our printed photo organizing made easy course. So these are your core courses that come right off the bat with membership. As soon as you join, you'll be given access to your training library, and all these courses are there, and it's on-demand training. Now, what is really significant is we established certification decades ago as a way, because dealing with clients' photos is deeply personal and it's really important work. And we want you to be vetted. We want to make sure that you understand best practices. So we have created a training program. You go through that. It's PDFs right now. We're upgrading all of that. That's part of the reason for some of the price increases, because in January 1st, but we will be grandfathering most of our members into the new, into the pricing. But it is, you can complete the current certification training in a weekend because it's really best practices. But what takes time is documenting a client project, a paid client project from start to finish. We walk you through the whole process. And we know that by asking you to document your, like, how many emails did you give? How did you estimate the project? How did you return the project? Take photos and things, all of that process. We know that if you follow our prompts, you'll have a much more successful business because you're going to be doing all the things that are best practices for the client. So that's important. And then we also want to make sure that then once you go through that process, then we check your references, and then you become certified, and you are able to carry our badge. And then you also are listed on our website as a certified professional when people go to look for you. So that's really an important component. And again, that's something we are in the process of upgrading and really improving as the years have gone by and technology constantly changes. So now, if you wanted to, another important thing is to check out our, I'm just going to see something. I have a feeling that nope, I'm using the correct, thought maybe my slides were off, but they're not. In addition to membership that we offer, we also offer, what we were mentioning is community. So we have a private Facebook group. It's like being part of a 24-hour tech support hotline where you can ask questions and get answers in real time. We also have a new series of webinars that we have put out that are once a month. It's called Ask Me Anything. And it's so this month it's Ask Me Anything about scanning. We have 3 professional members who've been doing it for a long time who are there to answer your questions in real time. And we have it scheduled out through all of next year on all the important topics. Again, our member community also really rises up your level of understanding, working together closely with one another. So that's another thing that we have. And also the mentoring program. It is a group mentoring program. You can be assigned to a mentor, and you'll be you and 4 other members. You'll meet 6 times over the course of 6 months. It takes some time to get all that, to get everybody's schedules lined up. But then the goal is that you would go on, obviously, and have a great relationship with those 6 members over time. Because again, being a solo entrepreneur can be lonely and hard. So the more connection you have with other members, the better. The other important piece of that is, again, this idea that you're going to do what you love and outsource the rest. So not all our members want to do, home movie conversion, or they want to make photo books, or they want to do scanning, right? So a lot of our members form really wonderful partnerships. In fact, on their websites, I know, again, using my son as example, he doesn't do the digital photo organizing, but he has a partner of a member who's down in Florida. She's listed as one of his partners on his website. So if he gets a job that he's not interested in doing, he becomes a project manager, and he has his partner do that work. But at the same time, he's the person who collects the income and everything like that. We also have an amazing YouTube channel. It's funny, we got to update this slide because we have well over 3,000 subscribers now. And we did this, I don't know when we put this slide in, but you can please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can listen to lots of past interviews with professional photo managers called Career Advice from a Pro. We also do a lot of training and different kind of relevant and interesting workshops through our YouTube channel, because today more people on YouTube than anywhere else. So that works out really well. So I wanted to let you know, I mentioned that there would be a really good offer at the end. And so this is our early Black Friday bonus. If you join our professional membership, you'll receive, last week we did a Market and Monetize boot camp. It was a full day event where it was significant marketing and money mindset. And then we have an what we call implementation day on December 6th. you will get to access to those recordings, and then you can join everybody on December 6th with the coaches to make sure that you're putting into practice what you learn. We've learned over the years that training is great, but if it doesn't have implementation opportunities, we can get overwhelmed. We can buy lots of courses and learn lots of things, but if we don't put it into practice, then it's really not a good investment. And so this is how we help with that. We usually will do a training, and then a month later, 6 weeks, we have a half day, small group breakouts and things for people to network and tell each other, how have you implemented what you learned? And it's a really wonderful way. So you will get access to this training, and you will be able to go through that and join the group on December 3rd. Or if you can't, make that date, that's okay. Everything is always recorded. Also, if you're more interested in joining our photo managers in training, you will be entered to win one of our Nix Play digital photo frames. It's a $189 value. They're great digital photo frames, and there'll be one winner. Questions have been coming in. This is kind of a high level overview. So I want to know if there are any other questions. Oh, Al, great question. How often are your courses updated? How old are the oldest ones? The ones that need to be updated are the digital photo organizing courses, and that the most recent one is she's updating that right now. So it'll be our digital photo organizing course will be all brand new, I think, within the next like 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. The printed course, photo organizing courses, we don't really have to update in the scanning because they're pretty. That doesn't change, but we do have an expert looking at our camera scanning course, and we're looking at maybe updating that based on some newer, we have a new partnership with a company called Negative Supply, who creates a lot of really cool products that are very successful for people who do camera scanning. And so we may be updating that course. Other than that, our webinars and everything, like we just said, we know that Mac is making that big adjustment. So we're pretty much on top of changing technology that we have to.
Cathi, Megan Davis, thank you for this. It's really interesting. I was just wondering if all of the photo products that you train for or that are presented, which one is the most popular and which one would be the most and best way to enter the market as a new photo manager?
Yeah, do you mean like which is the most popular service that people offer?
Yeah, or the people are asking for.
And asking for. Yeah, that's a great question. The scanning, it's funny, scanning photos and home movie conversion are an easy entry way in. Everybody's still has boxes of photos or slides and negatives that they know need to be digitized, especially depending on where they live in the country as well, with all the crazy weather extremes, and people realize those are at high risk. And it's a low barrier to entry. It's not that hard to learn how to do scanning. Most people don't want to do it, and it's a good income stream. The average, there's about 600 to 1,000 photos in a shoebox, just to give you an idea, or 100 photos in an inch. So when you measure, you get an idea, and the average cost per scan is anywhere from a very low of 75, 80 cents to about $1.25 per scan. So you can quickly see like a shoebox of photos could be worth anywhere from $600 to $800. And based on the type of scanner you use will determine the speed at that, and then how they want those photos returned to them and things. And we talk about all of that. That's probably a way a lot of people enter in, and then maybe they find out that's not really what they want. Unless you have a good skill set with digital photo organizing, that's another high demand need where people want somebody to come in and get rid of all their duplicates, merge their digital photo library because they have photos in Dropbox and Google Photos, and they don't know where they all are, and they've imported their memory cards thousands of times, so they have like 85,000 digital photos, and by the time a photo manager is done, they give them back a collection of 20,000 digital photos with their keywords and all with the metadata and stuff attached. Is that helpful answer?
That is, thank you. Is there a difference between the generations, say the boomer generation and the
Yes,
generation?
absolutely. In the boomer generation is definitely the scanning. And it's not only again, it's letters, it's all sorts of things. I just went with my son. I mean, I keep using him as an example, but he's like my real life example. I just went with him yesterday to meet a woman from Martha's Vineyard. He lives here in Connecticut. I knew somebody who knew somebody, and we just picked up 4 big banker boxes full of her lifetime of photos. It was her parents' photos. So that's really common with baby boomers. They inherited all the photos from their own families and they don't know what to do with all those. They have their own photos. They don't know if their kids care about them and want them. And they do. We just know they don't want all of those photos. They want a curated photo collection with the stories attached to it. So that's a very typical customer for many of our members. And there's lots of them out there. 10,000 people a day are turning 65 and will for the next 6 years. They call it the tsunami of stuff. So it's this whole issue about what does the next generation want and what are they trying to pass down. So it's a really good target audience.
Thank you.
We have another few questions, Cathi.
Yeah.
How will AI negatively affect the business and how does it currently?
That's a great question. People ask us that all the time. AI is helping our business. It's not going to impact our business negatively at this point. The reason where it's helping our business is, AI for writing emails and for, again, like sending out proposals and all the amazing things that AI does. AI can tell you also, we are working closely with companies that are creating AI and we test a lot of them for them in terms of adding metadata, knowing what like old photos that you scan in, if you run it through some of the programs we have, they'll be able to tell you where it was taken, where you may have no idea, but it's based on, machine learning and things. What AI can never do is to tell you the story behind a photo. So the example I use of that is my son, who happens to be adopted. We happen to find his first cousin through 23andMe. It's a crazy story. I have an amazing photograph of him standing next to Belinda, and you will know from AI right now, you would know who they are. You'll know where where it was taken at Bradley, the date. And there's fuzzy people in the background. I believe within, no time we'll be able to know who those people are in the background, every type of flowers in the bouquet of flowers. What you'll never know, though, is the first time that Joshua looked in the face of somebody who looked like him and what that felt like. AI can't do that. Storytelling is part of our human experience, and that's not something that AI is going to take over, but it is helping speed up the photo organizing process and is a great tool for many of our members. And like I said, we're in touch and work closely with many companies that are developing AI. So if you're geeky and you like that stuff, I can introduce you to a lot of companies who will be happy to have you break and try all of their different products for them. So
another question we had was someone was asking about the price increase in January.
Yeah, we're just going up 10% in January, but we're also adding a new level of membership, which would include a certificate. We're going to be adding up. We're just going to have a third level. I don't need to go into details because it doesn't really matter. But yeah, just based on what people need, and we know that there's just a need for that. But just 10% is what the price is going to be.
Another question was there's a digital photo organizing workflow in the library, but any workflow or how-to best practices for physical photos. They're wondering how to approach that.
Yeah. If you join either at the photo manager in training, that's a printed photo organizing, what we call analogs. And if you join at the professional level, that's the whole course by Sandra. So yes, printed best practices for physical photos. We have a lot of workflows on that.
And someone else said that they're in PMIT right now and they want to upgrade, but they think they've been in there for almost a year. So should they sign up separately?
Send a note to support at the photo managers, because if you can save $50, save or $25, go for it. So.
And another question was how much could we expect to spend for equipment and supplies to get started? And what's the minimum investment?
And we have, I don't know, Mary, if you know where that is quickly, we have a handout with all those prices, but you may not be familiar with that. Maybe you can find that. I can answer that and we can add that in the follow-up email if you can't get your hands on that quickly. Okay, so yeah, assuming that, James, that you have nothing right now. If you're going to do scanning, we recommend the Epson Fast Photo, which is it's like a speeder photo. It's anywhere from $4.99, $5.99 with Black Friday. They're going to probably have some decent sales. And the Epson V600, which is a good basic flatbed scanner to get started. And so that's going to be about $700 or $800 in equipment. You will probably upgrade unless you have to camera scanning if you realize you're going to be doing a lot of scanning, because it's much more efficient, but there is more of a learning curve to that and a little bit more of an investment. So a lot of times we tell people to start with the slower process of doing the work. And then, once you have enough business and then you realize you definitely want to stay doing it, then you can upgrade to that next level. Then the other biggest investment is going to be maybe on some deeper training. If you're doing a lot of digital, you want to have a good computer with, fast processing and things like that. Again, it really becomes about time management more than anything else. The faster your processes are, the faster your systems will be. But other than that, and then the investment is going to be in marketing and, joining networking groups, getting the word out there that this is what you do. So it's a very low barrier to entry to get started when it comes to those types of things. But over time, you'll invest probably more in technology training than anything else.
One last question we had was if you're getting started as a photo manager, do you advise them to find a first project and then get started to experience the practical side, or to become a member, learn, and then look for clients?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, when you join we have a new member orientation the last Friday of every month. So it'll be this Friday. The first thing I tell everybody is go get your first client. Otherwise, a lot of people get paralyzed by information, analysis by paralysis, where you feel like you have to know everything before you can get started. And the fact that you're even here asking these questions, you're already going to be a step ahead of what most people know. We've got your back. We've got lots of people that will support you. You're not going to get stuck in a situation that you can't get yourself out of, because our membership community is just so helpful. And every photo organizing project is a little different than, there's always something new coming your way. Like Joshua getting that call from the woman, how do I get these letters transcribed? I mean, it's always something new. So I recommend that you get that client, and then you can join. I mean, I usually give this talk to somebody who has joined but has watched all our training. I don't think you should personally watch all the training that we provide until you need it. If you're not doing a scanning project, then don't watch the scanning, because how are you going to remember all that, right? It's really helpful to watch the training in real time when you're needing it, as opposed to trying to watch it all, thinking that you're going to memorize all that and not get in the situation where you're in over your head. So I think go and get the client. That's how I got started. I mean, if it's a fun story, someday I won't go into all the details, 15 years ago, but when I called myself a photo organizer, which is a really crazy story. And I went to a Chamber of Commerce, and the first person who hired me wanted me to make a video montage of her. She was a travel agent, and I had never made a video montage. And I just said, well, I've never done that, but I bet you I could figure out how to do it. And do you mind if I'm learning how to do it? And she's like, no, I don't care. I'm glad you're doing it. So I always say, just say yes and go. Everything is figure outable. There's my sign behind me there. And I have another one that right next to it that says that it's okay to be brave and afraid at the same time, by Brene Brown. That's Marie Forleo. You could figure it out. So hopefully that gives you the confidence to just go out there, get the job, and we'll help you figure it out. I'm seeing this other one. I've been a content creator for 7 years now. I'm a thriving blog in the education. The past year, AI has drastically reduced my income. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry that this is happening. I mean, that's just a terrible thing to read. I won't go into all the details. So I'm ready to shift and start a photo management business. Can you talk a bit about how you see AI changing the photo management business in the future? Obviously, we have to use AI when it's beneficial. Yeah, I hope I answered that question enough for you, Tanja. Yeah, it's not, photo organizing is a personal business. It's like the fact that I'm just using that example again. I know, but these are real life examples. Why did that woman drive all the way from Martha's Vineyard, take a ferry, get on 95, meet us off the highway, right? Because she had heard we were recommended to her, and she wasn't going to box all her stuff up and ship it to, through Costco, or through to one of those like burn and churn scanning companies, which some people will do, and they've probably already done that. But again, it's her livelihood, it's her work, and she keeps, we've gotten multiple thank you notes already from her. Thank you so much, because this is so personal. So we always say to people, it's an honor and a privilege to journey alongside you through this process. A lot of our members say it's the one business where your clients will cry, right? So I think that's the difference with AI. And I do think more and more is, I'm a business person myself. I mean, this is my business, and I have to watch for all the changes and what's happening. Is that I think we're becoming more localized in terms of the work that people want, and people want to support small local businesses, people in their own community. And so we do know there's a huge market for downsizing baby boomers. It's just happening worldwide. That's a big opportunity. So hopefully that helps, because it's more AI in the photo industries is going to help you, but the consumer's not looking for that AI solution. They're just not. I mean, they're too busy. They don't have time to think about that stuff, and they're going to be intimidated by it. Um, All right, let's see.
I think we've
Oh,
answered.
liability. Yeah, liability is a great question. We get that all the time. We have a little course on that. The way photos are considered priceless, so you really can't get insurance, liability insurance on that. You're going to want business insurance, in case, which is pretty reasonable, but in case there's a fire and stuff. But it's all built in the contract with your client. So when you you take photos from a client, you're going to want to. We have all the forms already created for you, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel on that. You're going to want to do an inventory. You're going to want to get them to agree to the inventory. You're going to photograph everything that you take. I have 5 blue albums, 4 banker boxes of, here's a picture of each banker box. Here's a general description what's in those banker boxes, right? And then the client, yes, agreed that this is what you have taken and things like that. Also, our members, most of them have a pretty firm policy that they will not destroy photos at the end. They give the photos back to the client. It's up to the client to destroy those photos, even if they beg them to throw them away for them. Our members have really, over the years, realized, what, they just don't want to take that liability. Same thing with so when you're working with photos, and even when you're deleting digital photos, you're never really going to delete anybody's photos or anything. You're going to put them on an external hard drive in a folder that says to be deleted. Or, if you're going through a deduping, you're going to have a folder. These are the dedupe, and you give it back to the client. Let them click delete, So, and then also when you're doing digital photo organizing, the first best practice is going to be, you're going to make sure that the clients have signed off that you're helping them if they don't know how, but that everything is backed up and you're working on a backup copy. You're not working on the original. So you're always going to protect yourself to make sure that because what's the biggest fear we would all have is, oh my gosh, what if I lost my client's photos? That's never happened in 15 years of members. Even with the fires, we've had members have pictures in California with their cars packed with all their clients' photos, evacuating. And then the clients are so thrilled that at least that they're safe with that client. So, I mean, there is always that chance that could happen, but you definitely want to just protect yourself with an honest conversation and a contract. All right. Other than that, we do offer an annual conference. It'll be in San Diego. We do give $50. We give you the early bird registration, so you'll get a coupon code. We'd love to have you come. We really recommend that people come if you can to the conference. Then it's in the end of April. We have lots of new members come. We have a whole new member group. Great training, 20 different breakouts, all our amazing companies that we partner with. We have so many great companies that offer you significant discounts on their products and services. And so it's a chance to get to meet all of them. So that would be a great chance. I didn't mention also we have regional groups. So once you join, you'll be put into a regional group, which is based on we're too big to be oops, sorry about that. We're not enough members to be like state by state, or so our EU group meets once a month. They just have their second meeting in Amsterdam. We have a group in Australia. And then we have like the Northeast region, the South, Central, the Four Corners region. So you'll be immediately meet your regional leader. You'll be able to join those regional groups and things. So we do everything we can to ensure that you get committed, that you become part of the community. That's going to be your success. That's my last word of advice with no more questions. Ideally you'll join, and when you do, get involved, get to know people. Don't be a lone ranger. You'll have a lot more fun doing it for everybody else. Cindy, yes, our photo management training are welcome to come to our conference. Absolutely. And no, we don't have regional meetings though for our PMIT, but we do have the group sessions where people can get together. So it's not like a regional meeting, but it is, we do have those group once a month. You can get together on it with everybody. So there is way more business than there are photo managers at this point in time. And we're decades away from any kind of saturation. So all right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. I hope definitely take advantage of that Black Friday special deal. It's a good deal. It goes till December 3rd, I think. You'll get an email follow up with this again, so if you forget anything. And we'd love to welcome you to membership. Thank you.